Hello and welcome back. In this video, we're going to learn how to create a playbook to refresh the table whenever we want to ask for a new age. So for example, let's say that I want to ask for people who have 25 years. How do I do this? That's what we're going to do. So okay, the first thing that we need to do is to create a playbook. So we're going to create a playbook directly on the Jenkins home Ansible folder so we can have that in the container. So let's call it like people.yaml if you want. And remember that Ansible structure normally starts with hosts. Then we say web1, and that host is the one that we created before. Then we specify the tasks, and under the tasks, we want to specify the task that we want to run. In this case, we're going to give it a name, and we're going to say like transfer template to web server. And in here, we're going to use a module, which is a template. In Ansible, as I told you before, we have a lot of modules to do a lot of things. And a module is something that does something. In this case, template actually transfer a file from your local machine to that remote machine. In this case, we're going to have the template on the Jenkins container, and that template is going to be transferred to the Web1 container. So what this template is going to be? We're going to define a source here, which is going to be the local template. And the local template is going to be the table.j2 file that has the code, the HTML, CSS, and PHP code. Then we're going to specify the destination, and the destination means where this file should be located in the remote host, in this case in the web1 container. So we want that file to be at bar www html index.php, right? But if we leave this file in its current state, then we're always going to have the same answer because this file is not dynamic. So now we want to pass something like a variable, and based on that variable, then this file is going to take that value. How do we do this? Well, let's change directory to the Jenkins Ansible directory, and we're going to modify the table.j2 file. So in templates, we can specify conditions because this is actually Jinja 2. So if you have never heard about Jinja 2, it's a type of templating, a powerful templating that allows you to create a template and create basic logic or actually advanced logic like for, loops, if, and all of that. So in this case, we want to use a sample if in our code. So keep an eye on it. We're going to delete this and we're going to leave this query as this is. Pretty simple. We're going to do select ID, name, last name, age. Then we're going to say from, register, nothing weird. This is a simple query, right? This is going to return everything because we are not passing anywhere in here. So now in a Jinja 2 template, we can pass an if condition using these curly braces and then the percentage sign here. And we can say something like if. I'm just gonna create a variable here, which is going to be people, age, for example. This variable is not defined yet, but we're going to define it later. But we're going to say if people age is defined, it means if this variable has any value, for now it doesn't have any value, then what we want to do, we want to add this piece of code, which is going to be where age is going to be equals to what? Well, it's going to be equals to people age. People age, right? And finally, in this Jinja 2 template, we need to close the if using the same thing, the same format, but now we say end if. So in here, so let's recap. We say if people age is defined, then we're going to add this piece of code that says where age equals to the people age, which should be a variable with a number. And then we close the if. Pretty simple. So now we're going to save this and then we are done. So I'm just going to go to Google in here and I will show you where you can find more information about templates in Ansible if you want. That's like Ansible templates, Jinja 2, if, for example. And then you look for any result that you want. Let's look at Stack Overflow to find something. And here you have a lot of examples. Let's see, as you can see. This is exactly the same thing that we did. If something, then we add something. You can pass else as well, and then you close the if. So if you want to learn more about Ansible, then just go ahead and read a little bit. But for now, remember that we added a simple condition to our table, and that is if people age is defined, then we're going to add this piece of code, and then we're going to close the end if. So this is pretty cool. I'll see you in the next lesson.